The theme for today is to come to God about it first and worry about the rest later. And I know the common self-growth phrase is to make it exist first and then make it look pretty later. And yeah, I thought that was true until I realized that there is a crucial step that we're missing when we're making that thing exist first. And that crucial step is to coming to God with that idea that we have. How can you create anything? How can you make any idea come to life if you're not looking at God and asking Him to put His hand on it and asking Him to assist you and guide you on whatever that thing is that you want to accomplish? You have this whole vision for what you want to do with your life, for this whole vision of what this idea is going to look like in the future, and the whole time it goes against God. Whole time you're just not doing anything that God is going to approve of. Whatever that idea you have is, God wants to be a part of that. Regardless if you feel like it aligns with His will or not, God wants you to just come to Him about it. And if it's not according to His will, or it's not aligning with the person that He wants you to become, then He'll fix your intentions. And He'll turn it into something that eventually you'll be proud of. And here's exactly why I say to come to God about stuff before you create. Because me, the type of person I am, I love to overanalyze, I love to think, I love to make sure that everything I'm doing is going to be perfect by the time I start. And I create without allowing God to help me. The first and only thing that's on my mind as I'm in this creation process is I just want to make sure this thing exists. It doesn't have to look good right now, it doesn't have to be pretty, but I just want to make sure that this thing is a tangible thing that I can strive towards. But I realized I'm never allowing God to have His hand on it before I create that stuff, right? And I always find myself having a pivot because I start getting closer to God and I start talking to God more about this stuff. And He's like, okay, I mean, you started this by yourself. If you want me to, interject and give my opinion, you better start listening to what I'm saying and changing and pivoting this stuff around. And I skipped that entire process to start. And if you give this stuff to God, even if that stuff is already in the works of, being created, God will still fix your intentions. He will still help you. It's not like He's going to be like, you started this by yourself, I'm not going to help you anymore. But imagine what it would look like had you started with God. Had you not skipped that entire process, now you've got to double back and pivot certain things that you thought were going to be perfect. With self-improvement, there's always this idea that we're doing it ourselves, and that cannot be any further from the truth. And like I said, the common self-growth phrase is to make that thing exist first and then make it look pretty later. Why are we the ones creating it? Why are we not coming to God? God will make it pretty from the jump if we just come to Him about this stuff and give Him these ideas. And of course, there's a reason as to why we don't want to give these things to God. We do not want to lose that sense of control on whatever that thing might be. We don't want to lose that sense of agency. We have this plan, we have this idea, we have this, thing we want to do. And if we give it to God, it's like we're losing control of what that thing will look like in the future. And yeah, that's true. And it's a tough thing to experience. I've been there. I've battled that feeling. I've questioned that feeling a lot. And I'm still not perfect with that. I'm still growing and learning in my relationship with God. But I had to realize that I'm sacrificing control and clarity for unlimited possibilities. And I don't know about you, but I'm taking that every single day of the week. If you're listening to this right now, I feel like God wants you to give up that clarity. Of course, you don't want to be confused, but that clarity only comes from what you understand. That clarity only comes from what you think you can accomplish. But if you give it to God and you let go of that sense of understanding on what you might have in the future, you start to understand that God can give you more than what you're capable of comprehending. God clearly knows more than us, and we've got to start acting like it. So don't come to ChatGPT, don't go to one of your friends, don't go to a mentor. Come to God first. See what God has to say about it and worry about the rest later. Because I promise you, you give it to God, He'll figure things out for you.